Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Are either of you big Olympic fans?
No.
No, really?
I mean, they're kind of cool. I watched them a lot back in the day, the winter ones when Shaun White was snowboarding still, but it's a lot.
I typically like the Winter Olympics far better than the Summer Olympics. Like the Summer Olympics, it's all the track and field and all of the gymnastics and stuff. And while I completely respect what these people can do, like I couldn't even do anything that they do. It's not that interesting to me. I always like some of the things where they try to make them dance. Like they do the tumbling runs, but then at the end of the tumbling run, they have to like do something fancy like a dance to make it elegant. It's like, no, just make them tumble. Like just the tumbling's enough. Like, and then that one thing where they dance with the ribbon, like, no, you don't need that.
Why are we talking about the Olympics?
Oh, because of their outfits. I figured this is something we could all at least talk about. Every year, I guess, Tommy Hilfiger does their outfits. And so this year they just released them. And they have like a smart blazer for the opening ceremonies. But it's pretty basic. It's like nice red and white trim on it. I like stuff with trim. But then the closing outfit is like a NASCAR race jacket.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And
by that time, you're just done.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah. And so like that, like every year they make this big deal about unveiling it, but it always is like super normal. You just put American flag colors on it. It's kind of like when people do artwork that like looks like a modern art. You're like, I could do that. And then it's the same thing with this. You're like, oh, put a red, white, and blue across the middle, write USA on it, and do a NASCAR jacket. Done. Donezo.
Yeah.
But of course they make this big to do over it and a big splash. But I was just curious if you guys were going to watch the Olympics. I think I'll watch some of it, but I don't set my clock by it, you know. There's been a few Olympics that have had like some notables. Like obviously I'm going to watch women's basketball this year. No, not really. Because Caitlin Clark's
Yeah,
not
I don't
playing.
have your girl on it.
No, she was playing. I'd watch it, but now I'm boycotting it. Sitting it out.
I am watching something pertaining to the Olympics.
Oh, what?
Just recently, there's a new documentary special about the paraplegic.
Oh, the Paralympics?
Yeah, the Oscar something or other.
Oh, Oscar Pastronius or
Something like
the
that.
guy with no legs that then killed his girlfriend,
Right.
or allegedly.
So there's a new documentary, and that's why I'm watching.
That checks out. There's no way you're going to watch something sports unless
No.
someone's being murdered.
No, not at all. But
Yeah.
I want to know, did he do it or did he not do it?
He
And
just got
honestly,
out recently, like
Yeah.
within the last year.
There's 4 episodes. I made it to 3. I'm
he
about
do
to
it?
watch number 4. I don't know, because his story seems believable, but then
I know.
the neighbors hear other things, and
The
you're like,
fight. They heard the fight.
Yeah, but was that really fighting, or was that him screaming for help? We don't
I
really
don't
know.
think that's true.
Have
Like,
you watched the documentary?
No.
Oh, you're just speaking out of.
No, I just know I know enough about the story because I followed it when it first came out, and I knew that he had gotten out recently too. So I'd watched a
I
little
think
bit.
he had
of it.
11 years and he did 8
Yeah.
or something like that. It's just crazy. I'll let you know, though, what I find out.
This is the thing, like that probably for you is like when Serial, that podcast first came out with not Ahmed. What was the guy's name that they thought had killed the Ming, and he went to jail. But then as you listen to it, one episode you're like, he's innocent, he got hosed. Next innocent, that guy did it. I mean, I went back and forth for like 20 episodes.
But
or whatever
ultimately,
it was.
they found him guilty
And then they let him out.
because they found him innocent.
Yeah, and so he was out, and then they were like, "Well, congratulations, you're out. We think we want to put you back in for a little bit." And I think
that's
they
terrible.
staved that one off. But yeah, that was a crazy story. Speaking of jail, Justin Bieber. I know. Justin Bieber got nailed for a DWI. You guys,
Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake. What did I say? Bieber?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not Bieber.
Same.
Makes more sense.
No, not
Timberlake.
Bieber. Timberlake. Thank you. JT got nailed. He was in the Hamptons and got nailed for driving while intoxicated. And apparently, the guy that stopped him, they said didn't even know who he was.
They said it was too young,
Yeah,
per se.
He had no idea who JT was.
That's funny.
And so that's probably what hurt Justin Timberlake more than anything else.
I just don't understand. The guy has a lot of money, and why he he can't just hire somebody
Yeah,
to come and pick
Uber.
him
Take
up.
an Uber like the rest of
Yeah,
us.
pay somebody. The rest of us, you drinking a
No,
lot,
no,
Gavin?
no. I said that like I said that like it was an applicable.
Do the responsible thing we alcoholics do. Like, nicely done, Gavin.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, like that's the thing, man. If I was that wealthy, but I guess you want your independence and you like to drive or whatever. But
Especially
man, I
if it's
would.
a fast
Or you don't
car.
want people to know you're that
Yeah.
plastered.
Yeah, I would want people to drive me all the time.
Exactly.
Like I would never drive.
Driving's awful.
Yeah, I would hire somebody and that would be
I
their
like
job.
driving.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would love to just be sitting in the backseat of the car, like, hey, take me somewhere, and then I'm doing whatever else I want to do, watching TikToks.
You have a problem.
I do have a problem. Okay, so we're gonna play a little game here with you guys.
Oh,
all right.
cool.
It's about celebrities and do they have a DUI or not? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
It's all gonna
should be
yes.
easy.
It's
Yeah.
all gonna be yes.
no, yeah, really. We're gonna go with Betty Rock's first crush, Lance Bass.
Oh,
Did Lance
Lancey
Bass
Poo?
get a DUI before?
No.
Oh, you still have a torch for him?
I never. No. The
My
torch-
Lance would never do that.
No, the torch has been
Extinguished.
extinguished and chopped up into little pieces.
Gavin, yes or no?
Let's go with yes.
Yes?
This man's has made a mistake.
Yeah, he's a man with a past, but not driving while intoxicated.
Told
Betty
ya.
Rock,
Not
your
Lance.
love
Told you.
has
I know
come through.
I know my men.
I know. So Betty won, Gavin a none. So there's one. How about Jason Sudeikis? Comedian
Ted
Jason
Lasso?
Sudeikis. Yeah, I mean he's
Oh.
so prim and proper on the outside. At least in
Yes.
that
That's
show.
today, though. I mean,
Yes.
Betty
yeah.
Rock says emphatically yes.
Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Okay. You guys both are hating on a man that has a perfect driving record.
Let's go, Jason.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. So neither of you gets a point for that. Vince Vaughn.
I mean,
Yes.
Betty Rock. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
yeah.
No questions asked.
We can't have 3 no's in a row.
Yes, you can. But you don't on this one. So Betty Rock too. And I want to make very clear on the show. I would, if we were doing this on the show, which we never would. But if we were doing this on the show, I'm like, okay, remember, we're not saying that drinking and driving is funny or good. We're just kind of trying to see who has or has not. Okay, so that's it. Keanu Reeves,
Man.
No, he's too responsible.
and he's like a health guy too
Yeah.
now.
Well, and he took care of his sister as she
Yep.
was dying, and he's just a good guy.
Gavin?
So
I don't think so.
No.
no.
I think he's no.
Well, maybe when he was taking care of his sister to get through it, he's taking a little bit of the drinky
No.
poo. Yes, he has.
does.
Little
He's got a
nightcapper?
DUI. So
Oh.
still,
I think he was framed.
Betty Rock 2, Gavin 1, Tom Hanks.
He can't.
No, there's no way.
I'm gonna say yes.
But what if he did?
I'm gonna say yes.
I know
No,
Betty Rock.
there's no
Betty
way.
Rock never wants to believe the
No.
worst in anybody.
No, there's no way.
Okay,
No,
Gavin, you're saying
no.
yes.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
No.
Because there was
He's
that.
not always been America's
there was
father.
that. I know there was that
No.
one time when early in his career, because he's had a long career, that he was
Took a
behind
minute.
the wheel of a car,
Yeah.
but he was the designated driver.
I knew it.
And he does not have a
I knew
DUI.
it, Tommy. I knew it all
It's good to be
along.
wrong. It's good to be
You're a
wrong.
good guy, Tommy.
Khloe Kardashian.
Yes.
Come on now.
I
No.
saw that.
That was so
episode.
judgmental.
I saw that episode.
Oh.
I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Should I? Will you judge me? Yeah.
So she did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She did, yeah. And Gavin
for
said
sure.
no.
Yeah.
No, she did.
You saw that on the episode?
Yeah, because
Wow.
she was going to jail, and Kim Kardashian was like in the car taking selfies, and
Yeah.
her mom was like, "Put down your phone. Your sister's in jail."
Oh my gosh.
Officer, I haven't.
All right,
had
I got
anything.
2 more. Ryan
To drink.
Seacrest.
No. Mm-mm. He's
I
too
mean,
squeaky clean.
I think you want it to be a yes. Obviously, you know the answer.
It would be like throw the book at him and put him in jail forever because this is such a bad crime.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, he's too squeaky clean.
Yeah.
He's too
He's too
on
image,
top of it.
He's too image conscious.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously it's the wrong thing to do. I mean, Betty Rock saying it like, hey, it's cool to drink and drive, but it's not.
Betty.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
did I say that?
Because you said he's too image conscious. Like, other than that, it would be fine.
No, I'm saying like it would do bad for your image.
Absolutely, it would. All right, last one.
Wait, and he didn't? I was right?
Yeah, you were right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Gavin said no, too, so you were both right. Last one. Morgan Wallen.
I'm gonna say no.
Wait, no, because
say
he
no.
wasn't behind the wheel when he got hit with that.
Well, the chair got him, but
The
had he...
chair hit someone.
The
Right.
man's-
No,
the
it didn't hit
man's-
anybody.
Yeah, it barely missed
It
him.
did not hit
It did
anybody.
not hit anyone.
I don't know why you have to stand with Morgan Wallen.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
You are so passionate about Morgan Wallen being an innocent man.
There was a guy in New York City throwing cinder blocks off a 60-story building. Like, that's going to kill somebody.
Strong arms.
Throwing a chair off of a 3-story building. Yeah. You single up there? Hey! If it doesn't kill me, it's the Lord's will.
So
I'll come
did
up
he?
there. No, I think, obviously,
No.
I think he's dealt with the I part of the DWI.
Sure.
But I don't think he's done it while driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is absolutely someone we should all look up to because he has not been caught drinking and driving.
He
So
should be the
other than-
Betty
designated
Rock,
driver.
you did really great there, Betty.
That's
1,
funny.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6-3. That's a shellacking in my book.
you.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, what do you got?
Oh, me. Okay. Well, I think this would be interesting to know why we think this is. So a list was put together of celebrities that we've eventually come to find out they were lying about the fact that they raised poor. So why do you think it is that celebrities lie about this?
Here's why I believe. I think it's because they want that everyman story. I'm just like you, the bootstraps. I worked hard to get here. It justifies their opulence or their lifestyle. And for some, it's like a blue collar credibility. You know, I know there's one person I know that has to be on this list.
Well, wait. Let's say that they were born into privilege.
Right.
And they're still big or whatever,
Yeah.
they're still in privilege. Do you just not respect them as much?
There's one artist that I think started off trying to pretend like they had made it on their own, but they had a $20 million investment from Daddy, and they made it that way. But this person went on to be super successful and super hardworking. So, yeah, but like the Kardashians and stuff like that, I don't have as much respect for them. Although they do start businesses and they run them ish, you know.
Yeah,
so
I mean, they're not sitting back.
they're not lazy.
Right.
So that
they do have I would say Kim has a very strong work ethic.
Yeah, I think that's the thing to me. Like, if you had the
And her
money that was the advantage and the leg up, great, good on you. Did you work hard inside of that? It's the people that maybe they got the business handed to them and then they're a CEO in title or whatever, or an artist or whatever that really doesn't work hard. I wouldn't respect. Okay, for King and Country, great point. They came up under Rebecca St. James, icon in music, Christian music circles, and they were the little brothers. They could have come up under that name and tried to ride off of that. They didn't. They never really talked about that, and they worked hard, and they still work hard. It is a hard-working family, and so they had amassed by the time they went through. If you see the movie Unsung Hero, you'll see the struggles that they had. But by that time they were coming up, they had been financially successful, you know, and so for them, I think their story is real, though, of being, even though they were financially successful, being every man kind of thing is truly their story. I
think it's just interesting that some people feel like they need to lie to make it sound like they had a rough upbringing.
Oh, yeah.
I was raised poor. It's just odd.
It's a better narrative depending on the music.
Is.
If you're a country
Makes for a better
singer,
story.
if you're a country singer, that's what you want. Is you want I lived in a trailer, I was on food stamps, I did this, I've lived hard. These songs that I sing that 14 other people write for me, these songs that I sing that I change one word on so I get a writing credit, these songs that I sing, these are me, they're my soul, they're my life.
But do we think it's like a victim mentality?
No, I think it's calculated. I think it's a calculated
creating
thing.
sympathy for yourself.
Yeah, and to
then
create
that
a
sounds
narrative.
like a victim mentality.
Well, I think it's not a victim. It's just like you're creating a narrative that will sell. Everybody's a product in these things.
Maybe so.
So who's on the list?
First one that made the list was Victoria Beckham. She was known as Posh Spice on Spice Girls. So if you saw the David Beckham, her husband, his story, his documentary.
I've never watched that. I have it in my saved list.
I know a clip from that.
Yeah, they're asking about her life, and she's like, I came from a very working class family. And he actually comes in and interrupts the interview. And he's like, nope, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth.
No, he did?
And she's like, what? And he's like, what car did your dad pick you up at school from? And she's like, well, my dad. And he's like, nope, one word answer. And she's like, well, it's not an easy question to answer. And he's like, one word answer. And she's like,
Bentley.
Rolls
Rolls Royce?
Oh,
Oh, there's nothing working class about a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, so she was like, in the 80s, my dad drove a Rolls Royce.
That is so funny. I've never seen that. Now I definitely want to watch this because
she says that she came from working class.
I thought that all those girls came like picked out of Liverpool or wherever, kind of like the Beatles. Like they came from nothing. I thought all of them were like that. That's interesting. And now Jerry Hollowell is married to the team principal for Red Bull Racing, Christian Horner, and like they have helicopters and a mansion, and so ain't nothing working class about her.
Yeah, it's a weird one on her end too, especially when there's like all these cameras rolling, and it's like, do you not think people are just like people would look that up, maybe?
Right?
Or
and the fact that her husband took her out is so great.
A fellow millionaire, billionaire. At
But
that same point.
I bet you he came from less.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
That would be fascinating. Either he came from less and he's like, don't you try to pretend like you're this.
You worked.
Or
Because
he
then he
too
would-
came from money.
Yeah.
I'd love to know that. Who else is on this list while Gavin looks
Yeah, you
that
keep
up?
going.
No.
See if I can figure it out.
Ice Cube.
What?
So he was portrayed in Straight Outta Compton
Yeah.
as being this guy from the streets, but he was actually raised in Southern California, so in L.A., and both his parents had stable jobs, and he went to a preparatory school and later to a charter school.
Wait a minute. Like SoCal is like where I lived, and it's like a right-wing Republican, and it's
Southern Central LA?
Oh, South Central LA.
South Central.
Okay, that's different. South Central and SoCal are different.
Okay.
South Central still has hard parts. South Central definitely still has.
Yeah.
I believe Compton is in South Central.
Maybe.
But anyway, but that's fascinating that he
went to a
lived
preparatory
around
school
that.
and charter school.
Fascinating.
And so a lot of people have hated on him, saying you don't know what it's like to.
From the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd never heard that because I know the movie Straight Outta Compton, and I know Public. Well, not he wasn't in Public Enemy. Was he in Public Enemy? Wait, that's Eazy-E. No, he was in MWA. No, yeah, and then he left. Anyway, and then he was on Death Row Records. Okay, anyway.
Kid Rock made this list.
Yes, this is a
So
classic.
He built the image of being straight out of the trailer park.
That's right.
But actually, he was born to millionaire parents. They were already millionaires. So he lived on an estate with an apple orchard, a horse stables, and a private tennis court.
His dad owned like car dealerships, I believe. It's how he made his money.
It's actually a missed opportunity because I think he would have loved knowing that he was straight out of the.
Oh, he's
out
so
of the
white
trailer
trash,
park.
man. Yeah.
But he actually got a silver spoon and he rejected it.
Right.
That's crazy.
But did he reject it or did
Well, I
he?
wouldn't say he rejected it,
Right.
but it would be interesting to know what his parents
Did
think
daddy's
of
money
this.
help you and you knew you had a safety net? Like, I'm going to go for this music thing. If it doesn't work out, I'm still good. Like that makes all the difference in the
It's
world.
just very interesting.
That's
And
fascinating.
then finally, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift,
yeah.
she claims that she grew up on a farm. So lyrics
mansion.
lyrics to her song "I Bet You Think About Me." She said, "You grew up in a silver spoon gated community, glamorous, shiny, bright Beverly Hills. I was raised on a farm. No, it wasn't a mansion. Just living room dancing and kitchen table bills."
Okay.
But then you find out that she was raised on a 15-acre Christmas tree farm that her dad started as a hobby because he was a Merrill Lynch financial advisor and from a long line of bank presidents.
She was the one I was referring to about the country star. Like, he invested millions into her career to get her started. Like, she didn't just show up to Nashville with a dream and a guitar. Like, he was a money guy that invested in her. Now, did she make the most of that opportunity? 100%. Does she work hard and has she proven herself? Absolutely. I guess this is what people argue for. We'll just say privilege in this case. People argue for white privilege and stuff like that. I'm not going to make this a race thing, but this is privilege. This is somebody who had money, had an opportunity that maybe other people don't to kick down some doors. Once you get there, you have to have the goods regardless. But did she have an advantage? Absolutely. She had an advantage over other people.
But I think in that moment, then you can use your platform to help others. And I think she's done that.
Oh, yeah. And she's worked hard.
Yeah, she's definitely helped people that were in need, whether they're a fan or whether they're another musician. Like, she has them up on stage with her.
I think for me, in talking about this conversation right now, like, Like the whole concept of privilege, I hate that term. I hate white privilege term. I hate all of that because I didn't grow up poor. I mean, I didn't grow up wealthy. I grew up where we had money sometimes. Some years we did. My dad had a construction company. Now, you could say, did he have an advantage because he owned his own company? Yeah, but his father started it and he took it over and it was bleak a lot of years. And then we'd have some decent years, you know. But other people would say, well, my parents didn't have the opportunity to start a business. Well, for some people that might be true. If you look at race back in the 50s, possibly. Yeah, that you could make that argument. But my father or my grandfather started a company with nothing back in the day, you know, and they worked hard for it. So I hate the term privilege because it has that connotation of entitlement. Like you are entitled. Like I don't mind the term advantage because we have advantages in our businesses. You know, everybody has some different thing that sometimes gives you the leg up and gives you an advantage over somebody. Unfortunately, that's life. Like if I had connections in the Broadway world, I would use them to help my daughter 100%, you know, but I don't. And so somebody else who does, they are having their kid be successful and my kid is not in that world because they use their advantage. Am I mad about it? No, it's just, to me, it's just the way the world works. That wasn't an advantage that I have. Now I have other advantages and some that I've created and worked for and others that I've had because of other people's work. So I think the term advantage, I like far better than privilege, you know, because of the entitlement thing. So, you know, the other one is Eminem. People talk about him like 8 Mile and stuff like that. And I had seen a thing on him one time. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm from 8 Mile, which is a really rough place in Detroit and poor and things like that. And they're like, dude, you kind of lived near 8 Mile, you know, but you weren't on 8 Mile. And so a little bit of a stretch there.
It's kind of like the same thing with Jennifer Lopez talking about how she was just running around like a kid on the street.
She's Jenny from the block, man. And that's backfired on her, too. I don't fully understand that backfire on her. There's been like a backlash against her that I don't fully get why and why people are so passionate about it either. And like her shows have stopped selling and stuff like that as well because of that rumor that, oh, she's forgotten that she's Jenny from the block or she tried to say this, but she's really this rich, entitled person.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What'd you find out, Gavin?
About David Beckham?
Yeah.
It totally looks like, maybe not, again, because I just don't know the professions in the situation in England and how much they truly would have made. But he came from a family where his mom was a hairdresser and his dad was a kitchen fitter. So...
Oh, like maybe he did restaurants or something or maybe
like
he did home, or maybe he was a plumber or something.
So it doesn't...
That's not money.
It doesn't seem like he would have come from much money.
Right.
And so they grew, you know, both his parents were like massive fans of the football team in town or soccer team in town, and then he played for them. So it's just,
and that's why he brought it up on his wife. He's like, no way, you are not going to pretend you came from an upbringing like I came from on this documentary and lie to people. I love that. That's probably not healthy for your marriage, but boy, I love that
because he does it really subtly too. And then he sticks his head through the door.
Subtle.
I thought he did because I thought he stuck his head through there. Like, babe, don't tell the truth.
But he wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
No.
Good for him.
Yeah, I like it.
Good for him.
I don't think that was a good for him moment.
Really?
No,
Why not?
I think
You think it's okay for her to lie?
No, it's not okay for her to lie, but I think that there is a more grown-up way to handle it.
But not when you're doing a documentary that's supposed to be an expose about your lives for everyone to consume. He did her the favor. Like he was the kindest thing he could have done is prevent that from happening because then everyone can call her on it.
Here's what I'll say. I think it comes down to the editing.
Sure.
He could have called her on it. Yeah, sure. Okay, I understand. But maybe they could have left that editing out where he's calling her out, but it's public.
Yeah, but that's what makes it better.
If they're filming,
if they edit around it and they take it out.
Yeah, but if they're filming it and they see the ad, like, this is good.
Oh, if I'm the producer or the editor, I'm like, come here, get it.
Yeah, of course.
This is awesome.
Of course you would.
Right.
But I'm saying for a marriage perspective.
Sure.
Probably not the best.
Maybe not. But for a TV show, come on, bring it. You know you like drama, girl.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
You do.
For the TV shows, I'm all for it. But I'm not speaking from a TV perspective. I'm speaking from a marriage perspective.
Well, I think if he taught her to not lie, that he did her a favor. He's a good man.
Is it time for a nap yet?
It
Because I
is
feel like I've
almost
been
time.
around the world and back.
All right. Do you have any birthdays today?
Nope.
All right. Well, that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast for today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.